Here, what's up, chat? Happy Saturday. It is March 12th, 2022. I'm Gun, twitter.com/Gundacker, joined by the mad scientist, who you kind of look like the mad scientist today, man. Did you take one of your closet cat naps, man? The kids away, dog. No Giants hat tonight.
Right.
Popping that bang.
Yeah, I need something too. Just radical skedaddle, that's all they had. It's weird.
I'm sorry, what? Radical skedaddle? That's what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get past the black cherry vanilla. I mean, blue raz every now and then, but yeah. Radical skedaddle. Might have to do it. Might have to check it out. Man, last night was kind of fun. One of the nights we've been waiting on. We've kind of paid our dues with some wrong hooks lately. Last night was definitely a night where some bold calls paid off, and then a lot of games went the way we thought that they should go, and that's kind of rare. So I'm happy to maybe run it back tonight. Much more tricky, much more slippery. Right, we've got a bunch of news impacting this slate. But those are kind of the opportunities that we can have to maybe take advantage of inefficient lines. Obviously, the books aren't complete dodo birds. They're going to adjust. But a lot of times they don't adjust appropriately. Maybe they base a little bit more off a season average than what the actual usage rates become one-to-one tonight. So maybe we can find a couple of spots to create an edge tonight. It's one of those Saturday main event PrizePicks streams. And shout out to PrizePicks. Josh, you saw it. They sent me a mystery box.
I know, I was jealous, man. I want a hat.
Yeah. Wow. Whoa, spoilers. I need clicks, bro. I need people to click that video and find out what was in the mystery box. No. But yeah, I just spent the last hour and a half breaking down this slate game by game, so we're pretty well up to date on the news of it all. But just a quick recap using that RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet and referring to the index portal. Cleveland Cavaliers at the Chicago Bulls. Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, both out. Cavs night 2 of a back-to-back. A couple of Q tags on the Bulls side. Probably most notably, Zach LaVine did not go through practice. So if he were to be absent, it would certainly bolster the usage and expectation of DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic. The T-Wolves and the Heat going at it. T-Wolves night 2 of a back-to-back. They will likely be without Patrick Beverley, Jordan McLaughlin, and then Jared Vanderbilt's out, so that's good. And then on the Heat side, they're definitely without Jimmy Butler. Martin is out. Oladipo, rest management, he's going to be out. And then PJ Tucker's questionable. Remember, night 2 of a back-to-back for them, and that's going to create an opportunity to maybe attack some usage influx for Lowry, Hero, and Bam Adebayo. The Pacers are without Malcolm Brogdon and Lance Stevenson, and the usual suspects. So that's going to create an opportunity for Tyrese Halliburton to play another big minute game, and maybe we attack his extraordinary high assist percentage going against a skeleton crew San Antonio Spurs team that at last glance were still favorited to win this game. Maybe PrizePicks offers up some Spurs lines to attack. We got the Bucks up against your Golden State Warriors. That's a full strength game essentially for both squads, and if you get 4 quarters out of Giannis, then you certainly can expect big things from him from a fantasy perspective. We get the Raptors night 2 of a back-to-back going into the altitude of Denver. Fred VanVleet questionable, and we already know Malachi Flynn's out, OG Anunoby's out. A couple of Q tags for the Nuggets. They've been without Will Barton a couple games here. Pat Jokic, I'm probably not going to dabble too far, too deep. Utah Jazz have ruled out Mike Conley, night 2 of a back-to-back for them. Bojan's going to play tonight. I think he's dealing with that finger, so maybe his flat tire effect on his shot. And Sacramento Kings have rolled out Domantas Sabonis. Washington Wizards, night 2 of a back-to-back. They're without Kristaps Porzingis, and they'll be at Portland. Portland, a rare single-digit dog here for the level of basketball that they've been playing. Basketball in quotations. And that's what we're dealing with. That's what you stepped in. That explains the abrasion on your shoe. Josh, did you get all that? That sounds like some opportunity to maybe gravitate towards other players that will benefit from some of these ins and outs. We waited as long as we could possibly wait in terms of producing this show live to attack what they would give us. So let's spend 40 minutes finding the best spots. And I guess we'll try and go game by game here, but really just target the teams that are most impacted. Did you have anything that you want to look at on the Cavs and Bulls yet? I wonder if there's even Bulls lines. Bulls are, they do have Bulls lines. So with Levine not going through practice, maybe we just make a guesstimate that he's not going to play, and we might be able to get behind some of these DeRozan and Vooch props. When we ran the split on the NBA Wowie tool, Vucevic actually has the 1.3 fantasy point per minute production rate, which is higher than DeRozan's, but DeRozan's shot volume and his usage rate is just going to be generally higher. Anything that you want to take bold stances on this early? Because I imagine if definitive Levine news came out, these numbers would just get a little bit more pricey.
Yeah, so Levine missed practice yesterday because he said his that lingering knee soreness. He said it was sore, so he couldn't go through practice. However, Caruso went through a full practice, and he's questionable. He said he's close to a return. I doubt he's going to play, though, because I feel like they would have made a big deal and announced it early on that this would be his first game back.
Mm-hmm.
But he did go through full practice yesterday, so I don't know. That kind of makes me hesitant to make any decisions on that front. But this is this is an important game, right? So the Cavs are 2 games back from the Bulls for that 4th seed, and the Cavs are coming in on a back-to-back. But I mean, they got young guys, right? They got Garland and Mobley, both young and can definitely handle a back-to-back, I feel like. But with that said, I mean, without having the news on Caruso and Levine, it's kind of hard to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more interested on the Cavs side of things because that's more clear cut for me. So you got Mobley on 3 straight games with a double-double. That's 18 on the season, and so he obviously leads all NBA rookies. I mean, this is another prime spot for him. We've been attacking the Bulls in the paint, especially Vooch. So I mean, I love Mobley tonight again. They keep juicing his fantasy point prop. It was at 36 and went to 37, and I believe it's at 38 now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still quite a bit of differential from your projections. I think you have him at 47. So it's still, almost a 10 point gap there. So I probably to throw a net on all his stuff since he's going to get the boards, he's going to get the blocks and points. I probably want to target his fantasy points. And then Garland is the one I'm trying to really decide on. I mean, his assist prop is the obvious one to go with. So the Bulls allowed the second most assists to point guards over the last 30 games. He's at 9 assists, which he usually sits at 9.5. And you can definitely get on that, especially, if he's going to be dishing it to Mobley in the paint. Marketing news will be kind of key here because that's a potential assist opportunity gone, but if Markkanen is out, would that just mean more run for guys like Dean Wade or Kevin Love?
You would think Kevin Love would be involved, yes. Whether or not he actually gets involved, it's certainly been a volatile range of outcome all year. But yes, if Markkanen didn't go through, you'd imagine Kevin Love has an opportunity here. Worry about Kevin Love on a back-to-back. He's played back-to-backs. Yes, without Kevin Love, without Jarrett Allen, there's a need for some size. However, Jetty Osman could stretch out because the Bulls play relatively small outside of Vooch in that front court. So I do think the Bicker staff has has a path to changing it up. Since the turn of the new year, bro. This cat is going nuts, by the way. He's got, we call it the zoomies, as my girlfriend calls it. He's literally tipped over all 3 trash cans out there. He keeps swinging this door open. I wonder if he's the reason why my frames dropped last week. Anyway, come get the cat, babe. Evan Mobley, Darius Garland on the court, Jared Allen off of the court since the turn of the year. Garland has a 38% assist rate, over a fantasy point per minute, and Mobley has a 22% usage rate, 1.12 FanDuel, which is PrizePicks fantasy point per minute. Yesterday, easier said than done to have a solid game against Miami, right? Turning in that 12 rebound double against Bam Adebayo in what has been the most stringent front court in basketball. Hey, him able to muscle that out there, and we know big minutes are coming his way. He stays out of foul trouble. Certainly am fine with trusting the projection here against this Bulls front court that has hemorrhaged fantasy points to opposing bigs. So I'm with you. The 47 fantasy point projection that I'm getting for PrizePicks scoring versus their fantasy projection of 38, that's a 9-point margin that I'm fine with capitalizing on. And we know Mobley can be a block-centric guy, so those plus threes will add up and steals and whatnot. So I do like Mobley without Jared Allen to hit that 38. So I'm definitely jotting that one down. Matter of fact, we'll type it. We'll type it. Let's go. Evan Mobley over 38 FPS, right? Is it 38? Yeah, 38 FPS. And then Darius Garland having that 30+% assist rate. I like the thought of that. Do wonder if they're throwing an Okoro, Jetty Osman, Dean Wade lineup.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this? Am I that confident? And then you got the scrappy Sumu defense. So if it's a Kevin Love lineup, I'm fine with it. But I don't know that that's going to be a priority click for me. I think we're going to be all over some Halliburton assist props. So I don't mind that. Maybe we throw a net over him. I've got him at 50 fantasy points for PrizePicks scoring. They got him at 40. That's a 10-point differential. Yesterday, Miami, tougher matchup, kind of lost the second in there. I think 40 fantasy points is something maybe we put down there as, I don't want to say, I guess fringe to start out, and maybe we can move the needle on that as we get forward. But I definitely like that Mobley lineup, that Mobley line.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on Garland's fantasy points. I mean, if they roll out a lineup like you said with like Okoro, Dean Wade, like Garland's gonna look to score. Only concern with the fantasy score with him is his propensity to turn the ball over, right? So I mean, he last 5-10 games he's averaging 5 to 7 turnovers a game, so that could cost you, which happened to us a lot last night when we played fantasy props. One interesting thing I noticed with him, he's getting to the free throw line a lot. So last night he took 16 free throws, he made 15 of them, and that is the most in Cavs franchise history since 2010. Maybe that was just an anomaly, like a spike game, but they have him at 3 free throws. I don't, how we feel about free throw props when you have a guy that has other good props available, but it's just something to consider. I mean, if he's going to keep being aggressive and driving to the paint, especially with someone like Io who fouls quite a bit, 3 free throws is pretty low for someone who's going to dominate ball handling, usage, and all that. So something to keep in mind. And then the other one we didn't talk about, so if Markkanen plays, this is a great spot for him, right? Like bigs, forwards against Bulls have been fruitful, and it's a revenge game coming back to Chicago.
All summer 16. Looking for revenge. And it's back in Chi-Town, Chirac. I don't know why I said that, but sure, yes. I don't know if I won't roll out of bed to put money on Lowry marketing tonight, but yes,
I'm with you.
theoretically, yes.
Yeah.
To touch on that note there, yeah, Garland does turn the ball over quite a bit, so much so that the Cavs continue to be second in the league in steals per game allowed, behind the Houston Rockets. Rockets young, dumb, and run the fastest pace. Cavs have been right there in the bottom five, and they're still turning the ball over. And you mentioned, if Caruso's getting close, Desumu's known for his defense, they'll pick some pockets there. So certainly could be some -1s. So yeah, maybe I'm a little bit skittish on Garland overall. I will certainly have exposure to him in the DFS spectrum. I based on who's active, who's not for the Cavs, I might wrestle with a Garland here. Maybe we go, PRA to get away from the turnover tax. Might be something to consider, but yeah, a lot of great points there, and the free throws are intriguing.
It is.
You mentioned. Let's see. I want to reference StatMuse here. I was looking at this the other night, and you mentioned Dosunmu fouls a lot. So let's go most fouls per 36 this season, NBA. Let's see how high Dosunmu is. Let's see. Players with highest fouls per 36 this season. There we go. Jaren Jackson Jr., no surprise. Jae'Sean Tate. How far do we got to go to get to a Chicago Bull here?
There's going to be a lot of bigs probably on that list.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Not guards.
Herb Jones. All right, so some names to keep in mind, though. Jae'Sean Tate, Jaren Jackson, Cat. Would you have pegged Cat as number 3 in fouls per 36? That's intriguing.
No.
Jaden McDaniels, J-Val, Herb, Westy, and LaMelo. No surprise there. 8 minutes. But okay, yeah, maybe we'll pencil that one down. But Mobley seems like we'll both vote Mobley as a top option, right? Like
fantasy and rebounds probably. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the live chat, though. I forgot to give them some love. You guys are awesome. If we get to over 100 views, that'd be cool. The last couple of days we've been doing these mega streams where we combine everything, and the numbers haven't been as strong. So I was wondering, if it is a niche, focus on the niche thing. And so far, yes, is the answer. Shout out to Chronic, Mia Moore, Mike Durbin, Steve Leibowitz, Carlos Skimmer, Quinn, Rich Homie Quinn, Victor Padilla. Super Logical says Kristaps Porzingis sold me 10x. I took his 3-point over 1.5. And he did not hit one because Corey Kispert had a night. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, what up? He killed KCP too.
Big HLF. How do you feel about Garland over 23.5 and Steph over 25.5? Neither are going to be my top tiers for me. I don't know about you, but I like my heart wants to get something from Garland. You know what I mean? Because I do expect to have a bullish amount on FanDuel at 8,500, but I don't know how I'm going to translate that into prop betting specifically just yet. Vincent Jefferson said I'm really liking the over on Lowry and Hield. Yeah, I like that. Gunn, perhaps you and your partner are fostering, quote, feline aggression in your household, and that's why your cat is so active. I don't know, man. The cats are just psychos, right? They're just, are we being honest? This is a safe space. Cats are freaking psychos, man. They plot your demise all day, and then the second you do something, they want to just start terrorizing the place for attention. Literally, I went in there to get the bang out of the fridge. Every trash can is tipped over. And like I said, he's not doing it to eat what's inside. He's just doing it to do it. Like, all right, a-holes, you want to not give me attention? You clean this up. Stupid cats. Halliburton over 2.5 free throws. All right, yo. What up, underrated world? What up, J. Cole? Jermaine. Cole. Mr. Nice Watch. Young Simba. Minnesota Timberwolves. Miami Heat. We've got Jordan McLaughlin, probably not going to play Beverly as well. The Miami Heat, Josh, this seems like a honey hole, almost like glory hole, and that would have been clipped by Damron instantly. Yeah, we got Jimmy Butler out, PJ Tucker questionable. So I ran this query on the show before the show, the DFS show, and I think we're gonna like the way you look. Okay, it's like Men's Warehouse here for fantasy points and prop betting. So I'm gonna set the calendar date to Kyle Lowry on the court. We're going to put Bam Adebayo on the court as well. And, Jimmy Butler out is pretty significant, but also not having those pesky 15 minutes of Victor Oladipo to wonder about. That's not going to be there either. So this season with Lowry and Adebayo on the court, Jimmy off, Adebayo has a 28% usage rate, 1.5 PrizePicks fantasy points per minute. Now, this is less than 100 minutes, but it's something that we have years of sample size of Adebayo with no Jimmy. And then Kyle Lowry, while his usage rate is just 14%, Josh.
That assist rate.
That assist rate, though, 28%. Holy. So
no, 38, right? 38.
20. I have 20. Well, I have 28 since January 1.
Oh, I did the whole season.
Okay, I mean that's fair too. Either way, they're both thick. They're both thick. All right, I don't know why I'm so goofy today. I swear. So Adebayo is coming in with a 43.5 fantasy point projection. My last projection run gave me 50. That's a 7-8 point fantasy point swing where I can kind of take that. The Kyle Lowry assist prop is at 7. It's at 7. That's his season average is below his season average, right, of 7.9. So I can kind of take that. I don't know that I need to elongate into like some Tyler Hero exposure, but we could justify it. And it's the Minnesota Timberwolves, where we've watched them emerge as the fastest team in basketball, and two of their better defenders, Patrick Beverley and Jared Vanderbilt, probably not going to make this one, right? So this is a huge spot for Miami in prop betting, and they are implied for like 118, 120 points here. So is it crazy to like Kyle Lowry assists and Bam Adebayo fantasy points over anything that you were keying in on?
Those were the two I had marked in for this for the Heat. So the T-Wolves on the season they're 24th, or I guess they give up the 6th most 3 points made. So that's really ideal for guys like Duncan, Hero, and I mean Lowry should be the one distributing a lot of those passes to them on these 3-point shots. So I like it. And then Bam, even though it's a back-to-back, back end of a back-to-back, it's just the matchup's too good, and the type of big he is, that he can run up and down the court and keep up on a fast pace, makes me like him even more in this matchup. So I'm with you on the fantasy points for Bam and the 7 assists for Lowry.
By the way, Chicago House King, Hershey0129. Appreciate those subs. I don't know when I missed those, but shout out to you guys for subbing to the channel. We are on pace for 7K. That's the race.
666. Thank you.
That was a weird 3-day lull of just like +2, -2, +2. I'm like, hold up. But yes, I'm completely in agreement here with everything you just said. On the other side, this Patrick Beverley being out, no Jared Vanderbilt, does any of that mean anything to you? Or are we still just kind of?
I mean, D'Lo's assist rate goes up across the season. It goes up to like 37% with Pat Bev out, right? So yeah, that was probably the one that stood out to me the most with the effects, the trickle down effects of Pat Bev being out. But I mean, he's not official. Is he officially out now, or is he still questionable?
I believe he's doubtful.
Doubtful. Okay. Yeah, I mean that was probably the one, just because all season long we haven't liked attacking the Heat. I know the Cavs just had a good game, but it's just all odds and probability, right? So it's the probability that a team is going to do well in this matchup. It's just going to be lower at times against a good defense, especially interior defense of the Heat. So, I mean, what do they have any 3-point props for the
2.5 for D-Russ?
So that's live too, just because of the funnel defense, like we talk about for the Heat. And is Edwards, was he just downgraded to questionable?
Actually, I think I did see that in chat floating. It was a probable for Saturday's game against the Heat. So he was probable as of 4/14. So I guess he's probable.
Okay, I saw someone in chat say that. I could still get on that.
But he does have a Q tag. Let me check the sports edge. So that would certainly be a significant. If he were to be down, him and Cat would, or D-Russ and Cat would jump in projections and usage and all those fancy terms that we here use, merit and viability and volatility and upside and ceiling and I don't know, just If you ever take DFS Tout 101, there's a whole orientation where you have to learn those words.
Could
Um,
you get on Beasley over 3.5 threes? And he's gonna chuck it, right? If he's starting.
I would feel better if Edwards ended up not playing.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying anything to like make that uh, Edwards thing. Actually, let me know about the rundfs.com. Dude, that's twice. I forgot that everyone tagged the stream. All right. Let me double check the news that came out from Underdog in the last couple hours. Yeah, I got nothing. So I'm going to assume that he's going to play.
Okay.
So with that said, because of the parlay style that we have to attach multiple picks here, I like to lessen the risk, especially on these bigger slates. D. Russ, Edwards, Cat, and Malik Beasley, they all have kind of spike potential that could cannibalize each other, vulture each other's ceiling. So I probably would ultimately stay away from them in tandem wagers. But the D. Russ assist definitely is intriguing to me because that's
Yeah.
the one that's not necessarily negatively correlated with all these other guys, that could have 20, 30 points apiece. So something to keep an eye on. And then Cat, I guess I already discussed that for FanDuel. That's just only a FanDuel thought. All right, let's move
Hey,
on.
I was gonna say shout out to our discussion yesterday. So I guess the Magic defense really is improving, huh? They ended up pulling off the win and held them to what 110 points.
I got the mat. Yeah, you called it metrics there, and then yeah,
Something There's always new trends coming out of All-Star break, so it's just something to keep a back pocket note on.
Super Logical says I took Kyle Lowry assists over 7. So it's moved, or am I dumb?
No, it's been a 7.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. Lowry's definitely a big assist guy, and then if he gets kind of that run where he's going to share with like Hero, Adebayo, and a couple scorers. He replaced PJ Tucker with perhaps a more efficient scorer. Yeah, I can get behind that. I like that. Pacers at the Spurs. So Pacers will not have Malcolm Brogdon in the mix here. Also, no Lance Stevenson. So those are two guys that can facilitate. Perhaps neither could facilitate as great as Tyrese Halliburton. We pulled 2 Tyrese Halliburton rookie cards on yesterday's stream. Shout out to Stevie'sCardCave.com for that one. Josh, they said they want to send us another box. They thought it was awesome how we did that. So
Nice.
Probably
Keep sending it. Yeah.
yeah. You ain't gonna catch me not wanting to open up. I love cards.
Yeah.
So I want to go pull up Indiana. And I want to go get some official numbers here. I believe I did this on the preceding stream that I did with Coach. That is available right here on this YouTube channel. Hit that sub button here. I'm gonna take off Halliburton. I'm gonna put on Halliburton. I'm gonna take off Malcolm Brogdon and get you some numbers. And you let me know if you think 38 to 40 minutes of Halliburton and a 37% assist rate and a near 1.2 fantasy point per minute production rate. Does that do anything for you? Huh? How about the power of levitation, Holmes? This is huge, man. I like this spot for not only Halliburton for fantasy. They have him at 9 assists, right? You know that's up there, but certainly a double-digit assist rate is in his range of outcomes. And the Spurs have kind of degraded their whole lineup. So if I'm going to get near 40 minutes of Halliburton and probably a shootout level of basketball, we could get some Halliburton assists. If you feel uncomfortable with that number specifically, you could probably throw a net over several things. I have him about 48 to 49 fantasy points on PrizePicks scoring, so maybe we can get to the over on that. Do you like this number on Halliburton? And do you like anything else here? I would say the other thing I would keep an eye on is in earlier incarnations of this Pacers lineup where Brogdon was out. It also coincided with Buddy Hield playing really dumb minutes with Halliburton. Both guys were playing 38, 40 minutes. And I was taking advantage of a lower Hield PRA. Looks like 28.5 PRA is not quite the 22 that I was getting earlier this season. Maybe the real point, something like that. But past Halliburton, do you like anything on the Pacers side?
Yeah,
Or how much do you like Halliburton?
I mean, this is last night when I was doing my research. This is the game that I like penciled in, marked under the assumption that DeJounte was playing. Like I really liked this game because I like both teams attacking him and the pace the Spurs run and the bad defenses on both sides. But then DeJounte got rolled out, so I'm totally on board with Halliburton. I've liked his fantasy points all season long because of his potential to rack up steals. However, the Spurs are one of the top 5 teams in turnovers. They don't turn the ball over.
So I mean, can we truly reference that number? You know what I mean?
Right. But another concern I have is that with DeJounte out and Trey Jones playing, that might be a boost to the perimeter defense a little bit. I mean, Trey Jones is known for his defense, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm still with Halliburton. I think those spike games of Hield and Halliburton without Brogdon, some of them were without Dorte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dorte, I found some interesting things on him. He's kind of like a Doug McDermott, this home road split where he plays really bad at home, but on the road he shoots almost 47% from the field, 40% from 3-point line. But at home he shoots 39% from the field and 32% from three. So he is a road warrior guy, kind of like McDermott. So the only thing that would be my reservation with Hield is just how much of Dorte, if Dorte gets hot, like how much is he going to affect Hield? We've seen that in some games recently. But I mean, Hield, one thing that stood out to me besides his fantasy points would be his 4.5 assists. Just because he's passing it to guys like Dorte and Halliburton and they're scoring, I can maybe get with that. But it just in the past, traditionally, I've always considered Hield a chucker and not a passer. So it's still kind of weird for me to bet on him getting assists, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you on the Halliburton fantasy points, for sure.
Right. And then Spurs are kind of guessing. It seems like when I was looking at the previous all heck breaking loose, watch your profanity. That Trey Jones is probably liable to play 35 minutes. I saw Keita Bates-Diop play a lot of minutes. Devin Vassell might pick up a lot of scoring as well. Is this too uncertain of a spot to target these Spurs, or do you like it? Because sometimes like the lines makers really don't know what to do either, and you could look at inefficient pricing here because DeJounte Murray represents a whole heck of a lot. Jakob Poeltl also a big part of that. Keldon Johnson, a lot of minutes, a lot of PRs and a few A's. Is Trey Jones 14.5 points something that you might be interested in? His 27.5 PRA, his 33 fantasy points. I have him at 31, but I also only have 25 there. I think if I push him to 35 minutes, it's going to clear 31 pretty easily, and I probably will have to tighten screws through and through on these projections. But there's also some games without Josh Richardson. Is that going to be an impact? I don't truly know what the starting lineup is going to be for the Spurs. I'm just kind of piecing together what the winningest coach of all time might do tonight. Did you have any early leans on the Spurs here? Is this just going to be too volatile for a parlay setting to kind of hold your breath on?
Yeah, it's risky and it's pop too, right? Like we've seen him traditionally, he'll pull guys if they're playing bad, and he'll just pull a whole entire unit off the court and bench them if they're not gelling and not doing well. But I mean, we have seen Trey Jones be successful this season when they've done these punt games before, right? And they've actually been competitive in those games too. I remember it was a game earlier this season before the All-Star break against the Suns. They punted and they hung close to the end. I mean, when those guys are all out, Trey Jones was playing 35 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And he was racking up assists and getting scoring too. So it's too fringy for me. Just with all the unknown factors surrounding it. But I get it if you want to play it.
Is it bad that I never played Kevin Love, but I sure know how to Milwaukee Bucks? That's I don't know. I've had this song in my anyway. Bucks at the Warriors, kind of a full strength matchup. Obviously, it's not no Draymond, Iggy, but the studs are there. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, All-Star Andrew Wiggins. That turned out great. And then Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis, the big three, and then Bobby Portis kind of they're all active here for the Bucks. So kind of like for the DFS side, I thought okay, everyone's kind of appropriately priced. I can't imagine there's going to be super mispriced lines from a prize picks perspective, and I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of confidence from you because you've been kind of a self-loathing Warriors fan lately. Is this a skip game for you on prize picks tonight, or do you want to attack it?
Oh, I mean, I want to target Giannis for sure. But yeah, so the only way the Warriors are going to stay in this game is if they're making their threes. Like they're going to take a lot of threes tonight, because teams have attacked the Bucks from the 3-point line, and make a lot of threes against them, and it's at home. So the Warriors, yeah, I mean that's if they're making their threes and keeping it close, and they're pushing Giannis to be aggressive and stay on the court, that makes me like him even more. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if with the way the Warriors are shooting lately, it's just so up and down. You don't know, and if Jordan Poole can stay hot, then maybe they can hang with the Bucks. But I just love attacking the Warriors with bigs, and Giannis and Portis, could have great games here. And Middleton traditionally has always had good games against the Warriors as well. So if I had to pick on a Giannis prop, I would probably go with his fantasy score. Just throw a blanket on everything he's going to do. You could even get on his rebounds. They juiced his free throws made up to 8 from 7. I mean, he's definitely going to get to the line, but Giannis, his propensity to miss makes me a little nervous. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to get his free throws tonight. But yeah, I would say rebounds and fantasy score, and then for Bobby, yeah, I mean, the most recent game, he went off for like 20 plus points, so you can get on his real points or his rebounds. I'd probably like.
No 3-point prop there for old Bobby.
Nope.
How do we have Serge Ibaka lines?
Right?
All right, cool. Warriors. So, as much as it's easy to self-load there, Josh, if the Warriors are known for one thing, it's.
Yeah.
It's. I made this. I stole a joke from Damron, and then I tried to use it on the Osmo stream yesterday, but I can't make fun of you because you're married. So I don't know. It's shooting threes, right? Steph Curry,
Yep.
Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, like they got some shooters, and shooters gonna shoot. And all year long, the Milwaukee Bucks have allowed the most points per game via the 3-ball. So like you said, if the game's going to stay competitive, it's going to live up to this 237.5 total. So we're going to have to shoot some threes. We're going to have to make these threes. Do we have any 3-point props? We got 4 on Steph Curry. We've got nothing on Klay. Usually we can find Klay at 2.5, right? Three on. Oof.
Right? Like, I mean, we've been clicking on the 2.5, and he's just been making 2 out of 10 3-point attempts the last like 4 games. So. But
Yeah.
it is at home. I mean, he does shoot better at home. But yeah, that's a true dice roll, man. Like you're just hoping. But Clay can get hot at any moment. But you're really rolling the dice that he gets hot, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing else here that I really want to get behind. All right.
I mean,
cool.
Poole has been playing really well as of late, and he's been distributing. So if you want to get on his PRA or his assist, or even points, that makes sense. And then, yeah, it would be one of those pools, and then one of the 3-point props for either Steph or Clay.
All right. Denver Nuggets hosting the Toronto Raptors. We don't really know much about what we're going to get from the Raptors. Raptors night 2 of a back-to-back going into the altitude. Could be with or without Mr. Van Vliet. Nuggets could be with or without Will Barton and a couple other guys. It's basically Jokic. Jokic is never going to come cheap. Is this a skip game on your cards tonight?
Okay, well, so this is what I wanted to ask you something. So, Siakam, you have projected for a crazy number of 57 fantasy points.
So this is implied of Van Vliet being out. You see, I got Van Vliet at 0 minutes.
That's what I wanted to ask. I couldn't tell because I saw Van Vliet on the index portal, but I did not know if he reran the projections with him out.
Yeah, and it was probably irresponsible of me to imply that, but he is questionable with that knee. It is a back-to-back going into altitude. So I think the right thing for me to do is to go back and put 30 minutes on him, 32, 33. But yeah, Nick Nurse would be kind of crazy to make him play here on the back-to-back into Denver. But he is without a couple of these point guards. So yeah, the projection's kind of crazy, but it is due to the maybe the jump in the gun of Van Vliet there.
I mean, let's assume let's say that we get a after the show there's like a late news and says Van Vliet's out. Could we get on Gary Trent and hope that when he gets on these heaters he'll stay hot for a few games? And the Nuggets, they do give it up to guards, we've seen. So I mean, maybe just go with this fantasy score 29. I assume they might bump it up to like over 30 with the Van Vliet news.
Yeah, last night he went bananas from 3, could not miss, 42 real points. Yeah, I guess so. For me, I don't think I'm going to get the warm and fuzzies on anything here. But yeah, you could justify that, especially if Van Vliet were to be out. The way that this is set up.
I'm speaking just strictly if Van Vliet's out. Because if Van Vliet's in, it's a stay away from me. Just because of how the Raptors have been.
Yeah, I could justify it. Wouldn't love it, wouldn't hate it. I could justify it, but I probably ultimately wouldn't have it as a core play.
Do you think if Van Vliet is out, do you think they just run Scotty Barnes at point again?
Yeah, but that also doesn't mean anything because we talked about how the Raptors have like the lowest assist rate in basketball. Right. So it's just like, who has the ball this time?
Yeah, except Siakam goes off for 10 assists last night. And I assume majority of those came from 3 balls from
Gary Trent was just literally running around and shoot like it was like he was creating his own screens.
What do you make, like 8 threes? So I assume
he couldn't miss.
Came from Siakam's 8 of those 10 assists.
Probably.
Trent 3.
He could not miss, man. It was nuts.
That's such a fake game. Yeah.
All right, so I'm less than lukewarm on that Raptor situation.
I'm with you. Yeah.
And then Jokic is Jokic, but like I said, we're not likely to get a exploitable Jokic line ever again for the remainder of the earth. So I don't know that he's going to be somebody I'm going too far after. Outside of like sometimes we can get obscure lines that are a little bit low. We've been looking at free throws a little bit lately. Right, this 5 has kind of been around a min, and this is a kind of a lanky Raptors lineup. Maybe he can sucker some fouls here. Maybe go look at free throws allowed per game to opposing bigs. Toronto has been keeping their hands to themselves when it comes to the front court. We talked about was it Scotty Barnes? We had let's see, Toronto. Pascal Siakam is up there in terms of personal fouls per 36, 5.14. And then that was kind of it. They haven't been that crazy. So I guess five free throws for the usage rate of a Jokic is always going to be live. And maybe it pushes here. I can't really see less than 5 if the game stays somewhat competitive. But I don't really think, like I said, I don't think we're getting discounts on these lines here for Jokic. So we're just kind of hoping for a great game. And it's Jokic. He could do it. But I don't know that I'm going to add that into the parlay style of wagering that we have to succumb to.
Mm-hmm.
If Will Barton were to be out, we have noted that Monte Morris has been more of a 1 fantasy point per minute producer. And then on top of Will Barton, there is some moving bits of pieces of information when it comes to Aaron Gordon as well. He's dealing with a ankle or knee or something like that. So if you lose Barton and Gordon, it would bolster Monte that much more. Maybe Bones Highland and Jeff Green. But this is all probably stuff that's more actionable for like DFS wildcards plays and not necessarily something that we need to introduce to our PrizePicks pool of plays. So with that said, we move on. 2 games left here. The Kings are going to be massive dogs here. Road game against the Utah Jazz. They will be without Domantas Sabonis. They were 10-point dogs as is. Now the Jazz will be without Mike Conley, and it does take a hit to their defensive rating. At home this year, they've been pretty solid, and the Kings have been dog water defensively. So I don't have a whole lot of hopes and aspirations for that game to stay super competitive. But I guess if there is an outcome for the Kings to catch the Utah Jazz off guard, it's a back-to-back travel, right? They kind of have the jump on them in terms of travel. They were probably waiting on the Jazz to come back from San Antonio, and then Jazz might play down, and Jazz are without Conley and a hampered Bojan. So I guess if I wanted a Cinderella story my way into this game staying close, I guess it could, but it would have to really be on the back of a giant De'Aaron Fox game. And that most recent Fox game against Denver, also without Sabonis, I believe. He put up 32 real points, so I guess technically his usage would be there. Maybe we chop that game in half and attack some of the first half points. And then that front court, I didn't know quite what to project. Alex Len, Damian Jones, Rashawn Holmes, all live to get some minutes there. Trey Lyles as well. So I probably, unless you wanted to talk me into something Fox-wise, maybe first half points or even just points in general, Fox would probably be the bulk of my Kings interest if I get there. And then I really wanted to play Donovan Mitchell. I was kind of hoping that today would be no Conley, no Bojan against a Sabonis included Kings team, but didn't quite get that because I thought this could be one of those big Spider Mitchell home games where he just goes bananas, and he still could. I've got him at almost 50 fantasy points. That's a 9-point difference between mine and PrizePicks projections. And again, maybe we can chop that in half, feel a little bit better about first half numbers. But I do like the thought of Donovan Mitchell. So 41 fantasy points on him, 26.5 real points on him. And then Bojan Bogdanovic is back in the lineup after missing yesterday. Down with a leg injury, or was down with a leg injury. I think it was a bruise. So I guess it's going to help them in their scoring. But I don't know. What are you thinking here? I think Donovan Mitchell fantasy points and/or real points is something that I will at least want to do due diligence on. And then the Kings being so susceptible to points in the paint and just fantasy points allowed to centers. Maybe 40 fantasy points a little too light on Rudy. But it really all comes down to, do we game script this game to stay competitive to get into that fourth quarter? And if not, would you rather chop this game in half? And is there any lines you'd like for first half? Thank you, Travis Davison, for the sub.
Yeah, this one's tricky. The Kings without Sabonis, they put up a good fight on the road. Or no, that was a home game in Sacramento against the Nuggets recently. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Nuggets were playing a lot of games in a 5-game span with that stretch. But Fox was aggressive as usual, and he crushed his point and fantasy point prop in that game. But like we said, point guards have been favorable against the Nuggets. But they also have been favorable against the Jazz as of late, and especially with Conley out, he's not going to rack up steals and cause turnovers like he did yesterday. I think he had 5 stocks. It could be favorable for Fox. So I get it. If his point prop has stayed at 25.5, it hasn't moved. And Sabonis is out again, so he's gonna dominate the usage. But yeah, I'm nervous about this game. I hate playing guys when they travel to Utah. Only other prop I would look at would be Harrison Barnes. 1.5 threes made. He's been taking a lot of shots from 3, but it's Harrison Barnes. It's never fun clicking on him, trusting him to make a 3. Trust me, as a Warriors fan in the finals, when he just missed everything. But it's 1.5. He just needs 2, and he's gonna take a lot of 3s today. And then so the Jazz side, I was ready to click again on Donovan Mitchell's assist prop, and of course they don't have it today. Because he's been dishing it out, and he cleared it last night at 5 assist prop.
Yeah,
I don't know about him. I don't know what's going on. He's not scoring at his usual rate lately. The shot volume's there, right? But
yeah,
I'm not getting good feelings on this game so far. So, but on first half props, maybe Rudy Gobert, but what is it at 20? I assume fantasy
Yeah,
point.
yeah, they probably chopped him in half. So I mean, so a crazy quote though. I was listening to an earlier post shoot around interview with De'Aaron. They asked him, what he thought about Donovan Mitchell playing today against him, a little marquee matchup, and no Sabonis. And they asked him, what he had to say, and Fox said, "Ring ding 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 ding." Got him. We did it on a live stream. Ring ding 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 ding. I've dropped that gem in Discord a few times. So I had you going.
Yeah, you
I had you
did. I was
going.
ready. I was ready for a gem.
He was ready for a narrative, but
Yeah.
no. What does the fox say? Hey, what does the like say, man? We got over 100 of the coolest cats in PrizePicks YouTube land, and just 36 likes, guys. You guys can get to 60. Maybe you can get to 70. I know you can. Get those vibes high. Get those likes high. But I'm with you. If I wanted to chop the game in half, maybe take advantage of some discounted props and expecting full run in the first half in the thought that we might lose a fourth quarter. Yeah, Rudy Gobert, 20 fantasy points kind of there. I would never bet real points for Rudy Gobert. Usually 7.5 in a quarter. Sometimes he's liable to have 7 in a game. But Donovan Mitchell, 13.5 real points. I think I can get behind that without Mike Conley. I did run Mitchell on, Conley off. The number was 33% usage rate for Mitchell, a 30% assist rate. That's higher than I kind of expected. So maybe I could get behind that. And yeah.
I guess Bojan. I mean, he's gonna chuck it in this matchup. I guess you can get on his 2.5 3-point made. It would make sense.
Yeah. All right, last game on the docket. Before we do that, pause for the college chat. If you guys want to hang out with me following this stream, I'll be in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP Discord voice chat, grinding down to lock. Just got news that Markieff Morris, man, after that tragic incident that took him down for the season with all that whiplash, he's going to be available tonight. And then on top of that, PJ Tucker questionable. So. Kudos for that recovery for Markieff Morris. Many questioned whether he would even walk again after that gruesome incident with Nikola Jokic. So good for him. Good for him. Wizards at the Blazers. We get a usage boost opportunity. Kyle Kuzma, no Kristaps Porzingis against a Blazers team that has no business being in the NBA. Do we like anything on the Kuzma side? On the matter of fact, didn't you send me you recommended Kyle Kuzma for was it this game or was that for yesterday's slate?
It was for yesterday. I was joking
Okay.
with the sweater.
Best time to wear a pink sweater. Oh, I gotta get out the first half prop. So Kyle Kuzma, one of those, no Beal, no Dinwiddie, no Montrezl Harrell, and no Kristaps Porzingis. 21.5 real points is where they set the bar. 40 fantasy points. I've got him coming in at 44, close to 45. So I could probably justify the over, considering the Blazers are the Blazers. And then another guy I kind of like, stay with me here, Daniel Gafford. I got him projected for close to 30 fantasy points, almost 32 on FanDuel. It's a back-to-back for the team. No Porzingis. They got him at 25 fantasy points and 18.5 PRA. So I definitely... I'm gonna be in the streets with some Gafford on DraftKings, but I might get to a couple late night tilt enter cards with Gafford for PrizePicks. Anything that stands out to you in this game, but probably just Kuzma?
I think my new rule is like stay away from Blazers games, man. They just they'll just steal money out of your pocket. I feel like I can't trust them. I mean, so you have Brandon Williams projected for 41 fantasy points again, and they have him at 27. Can we even trust that he's gonna get a full run, right?
I don't know what to expect out of Brandon Williams. I do know that the fact that it's a 6-point spread, you know what I mean? Like I Josh Hart. That's how. Brandon Williams had the big game. Drew Eubanks. I mean, we're getting. I don't know.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm with you on the Gafford thing. I mean, the bigs have just been crushing Portland as of late. So it makes sense. I just would you be concerned? Would you go first half with him? Because I mean, is he the kind of guy? I mean, the Wizards have such a deep rotation that he would not play that many minutes if they did pull a big lead on a back-to-back.
Forget. So here's something I was kind of wondering is Thomas Bryant's been somebody they've been babysitting, coming back from his injury. Looks like he didn't play last night, right? So maybe they were saving him last night, and I guess there's a world where he just gets his usual run today. But I would imagine Anthony Gill's not part of the rotation, so Thomas Bryant maybe interchanges with this Gafford minutary from last night, 19-20, and then maybe Gafford could boost up to like the 20-25. I don't know that he gets to that the 25 Porzingis minutes. So yeah, I don't know. I guess. I don't know. So you're asking, would he be better to chop it at Gafford first half?
Yeah, do we have time to look at his first half rotation?
We do, but okay. So what's the last time that Porzingis sat? Was it against the Clippers? Gafford came off the bench in that one. Porzingis played. Pacers. That's a comparable spot, right? Gafford didn't start that game. Porzingis played that one. I guess it's been a while. But and there's still an outcome where Thomas Bryant straight up starts, right? Because he has started this year. But prior to Porzingis' return, Gafford, his last start looks like it was against the Atlanta Hawks, and he lost all of the fourth quarter. They closed out with Hachimura, and then KCP, Neto, Kuzma. But I don't know the context of that. And then looking at that Pistons game, Gafford started that one, and it looks like we can expect 6, 5, anywhere between like 10 to 14 minutes in the first half if he's staying out of foul trouble. So we're probably overthinking for no reason, just like maybe it's not worth it, and it becomes more volatile if he doesn't start.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's just stick with this 25 full game fantasy point.
All right, chat. That's it. So I guess we'll recollect favorite props here. We'll close it. 50 likes, chat. You guys can do 50 likes. We're at 120 views. Favorite props here, and then we'll keep the burners going in the VIP Discord chat. So here's what I've got logged down. Evan Mobley fantasy points, Kyle Lowry assist, and Adebayo fantasy points. Those seem like three of our more strong leans. Did you have anything that you wanted to include as a strong addition to that?
I'd probably say Garland, his assist prop.
Darius Garland, was it 9 assists? And I'm kind of there on Halliburton, to be honest, man. I want Halliburton something.
Yeah, let's go with this fantasy point. I mean,
okay,
it's a great spot for him in this fast-paced environment for sure.
All right, so there's a flex 5: Mobley, Lowry, Adebayo, Garland, and Halliburton. And then, we'll be in that premium Discord. But, hey, guys, we also have a free Discord. Link to that in the description below. Cultivating that community. I need to give away more. So what do I give away as a prize? So to incentivize you guys to be a little bit more active. You guys have certainly been using that screenshot channel, and a lot of you guys have been sharing these cards and tailing each other and making some moolah. So shout out to you guys on that. But if you guys are not in this one, it's completely free to join. Click the link in the description below. Get in there and grow. Just bring the vibes, man. We don't do none of that toxic gambling, masculinity, bull crap in this community. You know what I mean? It's all about love and success and seeing each other do well.
Yeah, we're always looking for screenshots too. We like to see when you guys are crushing it. So
absolutely. What the freak? I just accidentally opened up Spotify. But anyway, that's it, Josh. That's our look here. Let me get caught up on chat. I did catch chat with the what does the fox say bit. No one's safe. Shout out to you guys though. Super Logical says Josh Hart under. I'm probably just gonna leave that alone. Mox says I just hovered a finger over him, then moved on. Good luck, bro. I hope he hits. What up, Jermaine? Shout out to Jermaine. Neville. KCP sold last night. Oof. Great call on Powell last night. I appreciate that, Anthony Taylor. And that's it. Yeah, let's. There's still more work to be done. So I'm gonna go get into the laboratory and hopefully fire up some stuff. Make my player pool. RunDFS.com. Get yourself a sub. Twitter.com/Gundacker. That's gonna be it. You got any final wise words for the people, Josh?
I think it's just wait and see on this injury. There's a lot of pending injury news, but if you want to get on stuff early and just roll the dice, it makes sense. But yeah, let's wait and see.
I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. Tell somebody that you love them because I love you. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money. Peace.